UFC Fight Night, Moreno versus Kavanagh. Quick picks, quick predictions. The UFC is back in Mexico City, and oh, big shocker, Moreno's the main event as per usual. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys all my quick picks, all my quick predictions. So before we go ahead and get into the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get it started with the early prelim opener of Damian Pinas versus Wes Schultz opens up this fight night. Pinas, man, he's a solid prospect. He's a solid prospect. So is Wes Schultz. Crazy name, crazy name. But Damian Pinas is very dangerous. I'm not going to say Pinas. I'm just going to say Damian. Damian is very dangerous. He's got big power in the hands. He's got a lot of knockouts. And Wes Schultz is a very tricky grappler. He's a guy who was already on Dana White Contender Series, got finished, and then just won his Dana White Contender Series second try, if you want to call it that. Damian Pinas absolutely slimed out his opponent on Dana White Contender Series. Big power in the hands. Like I said, I believe it was overhand right, slept his opponent, brutally slept him, and Wes Schultz pulled off a Suloyev stretch. I think the first one ever in Dana White Contender Series history. Insane submission by Wes Schultz, but I'm going to go with Damian Pinas. I'm going to go with Pinas, all right? He's nasty. He's got big power. He's very dangerous, and I just don't see Wes Schultz tanking the shots that Damian's going to be throwing at him. We've seen Wes struggle with body shots before, big hooks, powerful guys. He doesn't do good against powerful guys. If he can get his wrestling going, maybe he has a chance to sub Pinas. Oh man, that name is not as tricky, but maybe he could sub Damian, but I don't see it happening. I'm going to go with Damian as the quick pick by knockout. Round 1, round 2, when his power's fresh, when they're dry, I think he's going to stick him with a big overhand right and just bomb him out. So give me Damian Pinas to win this fight by knockout as a quick pick. We move on. Eric Silva versus Francis Marshall. Do I really have to say anything? Look at Eric Silva. All right, he may have a better record than Francis Marshall, but look at Unk, bro. When's the last time we saw Eric Silva? I don't even remember ever watching an Eric Silva fight. I don't think I've ever watched this guy fight in the UFC ever. All right, I'm going with Francis Marshall. He's a huge favorite for a reason. Much younger, much more active. Got absolutely robbed against Myron Santos, and I picked Myron Santos, and I bet on Myron Santos, and I was lucky that Santos won that fight. But Francis Marshall should have won that, got robbed. I think he wins this fight clearly, and I'm going to say he gets a submission win here. So give me Francis Marshall as the quick pick, the early prediction by submission. We move on to the next fight, Sofia Montenegro versus Ernesta Karakite. Will this load? Okay, there we go. Sofia Montenegro, if you watch Dana White Contender Series, if you got that ball knowledge, you know this girl had a absolute scrap on Dana White Contender Series this last season. It was nasty. It was a bloodbath back and forth. Both girls were throwing nonstop. She was fighting a tough, undefeated Brazilian and almost won. It was a split decision where I think Sofia won the fight. I think she won the fight. I think she did more damage. And Ernesta Karakite has had a very icky career so far in the UFC. She lost one fight, and she's won 2 fights by split decision. I don't think she's good. I think she's pretty shitty. She beat Carly Judice, which is a girl who we just saw this last weekend get a nice win, and I do think that's a good win, but I don't think she won that fight. I think it was a robbery as well. So I'm going to go with a huge underdog in Sofia Montenegro, who I'm shocked is a 3-1 underdog. Who's somebody who's going to go out there and fight for your money, who's going to be just scrapping and dogging it out no matter what. I think Ernesta Karakite is open to body shots. I think when Sofia gets in the clinch, she's going to be doing big damage and just wearing on Karakite. I think she's going to win a decision here. Maybe a TKO, it's possible, but I'm going to go Sofia Montenegro to win this fight by decision as the quick pick. We move on to the next fight, Douglas Silva de Andrade versus Javier Reyes. I haven't seen De Andrade in a while. This fight card is really weird. I'm just going to say it like it is. I know it's Mexico City. They're trying to put all the, the South American guys and all the Mexican guys and stuff on this card. I understand, but they're pulling the weirdest fighters onto this card. This is a very random card. All right, very random. We got Silva de Andrade versus Javier Reyes. I'm going to go with Javier Reyes. Look at De Silva's career. I mean, he's got a lot of fights. Very big vet. Douglas Silva de Andrade is, but he hasn't fought in a long time. He's getting old. I believe he's like 40 years old now, and Javier Reyes just looked really good on Dana White Contender Series, finished his opponent with ease, piecing up combinations, really clean boxing, really nice knees and kicks, just mixing up really nicely, and I think he's going to be pushed a little bit here, so I'm going to go with Javier Reyes to win a scrappy decision against Douglas Silva de Andrade. I think De Silva, or de Andrade, I keep fucking it up, I think he is tricky, and I think he is durable, but I'm going to go with Javier Reyes to win this fight by decision. We move on, Christian Quinones versus Chris Moutinho, an absolute banger. And I know bangers, all right? This is an absolute banger. I'm just kidding, obviously. They still got Chris Moutinho in the UFC. They still got Christian Quinones in the UFC. What are we doing, man? These guys together, their tattoo combo is crazy. No diss, though. All right, no diss. I'm going to go with Christian Quinones. I do like myself a little Chris Moutinho pick, but he has been fed to the absolute wolves. And this is a way more easy fight for Chris Moutinho, but he's still fighting a Mexican in Mexico City. It's not a good matchup. It's not a good matchup. Christian Quinones is still very dangerous on the feet. I think he's the much better striker between the two. We've just never seen Chris Moutinho level up his striking. He's still super hittable. His chin is clearly deteriorating after he just got chinned by Malcolm Wellmaker. So it's not a good look. I'm going to go with Christian Quinones to win this fight. Probably by TKO, probably to get it done inside the distance. I mean, O'Malley did it late. I think Quinones can do it. We haven't seen him in a long time, but I do still think he's a way better striker. I don't think it's close. We haven't seen Chris Moutinho beat anybody of any notoriety at all. While Quinones has some UFC wins. So give me Christian Quinones as the quick pick by knockout. Probably round 1, round 2. We move on to the next fight. Ailin Perez, the butt-shaking girl versus Macy Chiasson. My girlfriend and I absolutely hate watching Ailin Perez fight because she's irritating. She's arrogant. I hate her. Personally, I hate Ailin Perez. The way she looks pisses me off. The way she acts pisses me off. I am thrilled for the day where she gets absolutely slimed out, hopefully by one of these top-ranked bantamweights, but it's probably not going to be Macy Chiasson. I'm going to go with Ailin Perez, even though I hate her. I'm going to put my bias aside. I'm going to go Ailin Perez because the truth is she's got really good grappling. Really good fundamentals. Her striking is coming along a little bit, all right? She may be irritating. She may look like a little ground troll, okay? But she is a good fighter. She's got really good ground game, and I just don't like the way Macy's been fighting recently. She's been accepting bottom position. She's been trying to win minutes and just trying to squeeze out a tight decision where she used to be a killer. She used to throw nice elbows. She used to throw dangerous shots, try to finish her opponents, but she hasn't done that in so long. So I'm going to go with Ailin Perez. I'm completely abandoning the idea that you look at a women's MMA fight, which one looks like more of a man? It would be Macy, but I'm going to go with Ailin Perez. The grappling's better. The momentum's good right now. She's in Mexico City, even though she's not Mexican, she's South American, it's going to help. Obviously, the Argentinians are on a bit of a streak right now. You got Esteban Ribovic, you got Kevin Vallejos in a main event soon, you got Ailin Perez, right? So they're on a bit of a momentum. I'm going to say that keeps up. I spent way too much time on this fight. What am I talking about? Give me Ailin Perez as the quick pick by decision, obviously. We move on to the next fight, Ryan Gondry versus Jose Daniel Medina. What the fuck is Jose Daniel Medina still doing in the UFC? Sorry, I don't want to curse, man. We're on YouTube. I don't want to curse. What is Jose Daniel Medina still doing in the UFC? He's 11-6. He's lost all of his fights in the UFC. He's looked terrible doing it. He's a human punching bag. Give me Ryan Gondry. This is a disgusting sight to see. Why is he still in the UFC? I understand he's South American. I understand you need people on these Mexico City cards. But you don't need Jose Daniel Medina, who is a human punching bag, who literally has done nothing in the UFC besides get fed to people and get slimed out. All right, so give me Ryan Gondry. He looked good on Dana White Contender Series, absolutely whooped his opponent, finished him. I believe it was the first or early second round. Nasty knockout by him. Really big power in the hands, dangerous. I'm just going to say he slimes out Jose Daniel Medina, whose chin is now going to be deteriorating. He got put down by Mini Francis Ngannou. He just got subbed by Todorovic. Get Medina out the UFC. If he loses this fight and he's still signed, but we're cutting guys like Jailton Almeida, who I know had a shit fight, and, other guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? Give me Ryan Gondry as the quick pick by knockout. No brainer. We move on to the main card. Santiago Luna versus Angel, or is it Angel? I don't know how to say his name. Angel Pacheco. We haven't seen him in a very long time. We just saw Santiago Luna make his debut on the Last Noche card. Looked really good doing it. Knocked out, what's his name? Quang Bang Lee, or whatever, or Bang Bang Lee, or whatever it is. Quang Lee knocked him out. Really nasty knockout from Santiago Luna. Undefeated, very young, Mexican prospect. I'm going to go with Santiago Luna. But I do have to say that Angel Pacheco is very underrated. He is scrappy. I don't think Santiago Luna is just going to run through him. I don't see that. He's got big power and he is dangerous, but we've seen Angel Pacheco go to some scrappy little decisions here and there. So I think this is going to be a bit of a test for Luna, who's undefeated, super young. I think he's like 20. He might be 20, 21. Dude, what am I doing at this age, bro? This guy's in the UFC. What am I doing? I'm rethinking everything. But Santiago Luna is going to get this one done. I'm going to pick him to win a decision here, even though he's got all finishes. And I do think he could finish Pacheco. I think if he does, he'll sub him. But I think it's going to be a scrappy, close, back and forth fight. We're gonna see if Luna's really a dog, if he really, has that dog in him, and if he really is meant to be in the UFC. So I'm going to go with Santiago Luna, but it's going to be a close decision, I believe. He'll be my quick pick. We move on. Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. A lot of debuts on this card, I will say. This is like a Dana White Contender Series debuting card, pretty much, to be honest. But I'm going to go with Emmanuel Rodriguez over Kevin Borjas. Kevin Borjas is tricky, and I wouldn't be surprised if he won this. He's beat a lot of these Mexican guys. He beat Ronaldo Rodriguez. He beat another Rodriguez. Hold up. Should I pick a sneaky Kevin Borjas pick here? I'm still going to go Rodriguez. Picks are not bets. If you guys know, if you want all my bets, by the way, you can go check out my Winible. It'll be in the description down below. That's where I post all my bets every single week for every single card. We're doing pretty good this year. If you want to go check out my bets, go to my Winible. You can use code YAP for 7-day free trial. You can get a whole weekend off. See how the bets do. See how your bets go. Go check out my Winible. But I'm going to go with Emmanuel Rodriguez in this fight to get this one done by decision as well. I think we're going to see some decisions here, boys. The Mexicans are tough. The South Americans are tough. Kevin Borjas is notoriously, what am I saying? He's notoriously tough. Very difficult to finish. Obviously, Alessandro Costa finished him with leg kicks, but I don't see Emmanuel Rodriguez doing that. He's got really good boxing, young, he's fast, he's dangerous. I think Kevin Borjas is going to have nice counters. I think it's going to be a very good boxing fight, a primarily boxing fight where we're going to see if Emmanuel Rodriguez can stand with a longer, taller, dangerous striker like Kevin Borjas. But I'm going to go with Emmanuel Rodriguez. Looked good on Dana White Contender Series. Looked really good on Tough. Obviously, he lost to Joseph Morales, but Morales is very good, as we've seen. And I think he's going to be a top 15 contender. And Emmanuel's still young. So I'm going to say he wins this fight by decision. Emmanuel Rodriguez will be my quick pick. We move on. Edgar Chairez, Felipe Bunes. I'm going to go with Edgar Chairez. I'm going to go with a lot of these Mexicans on this Mexico City card. Big surprise. I don't think Felipe Bunes is UFC level, UFC caliber. I picked him before. I picked him against Jose Johnson because the dude is 6 foot at flyweight. The limbs were exposed, and Felipe Bunes got that armbar. But then I picked Estevam against him, and Estevam just grappled him up and beat him over 3 rounds easily. Made him look easy, tired him out. Felipe Bunes is very tall, lengthy, flyweight like Edgar Chairez, but he doesn't have as much muscle. Edgar Chairez, is a bit better build for flyweight. He's looked really good. Just finished CJ Vergara. Obviously you should finish CJ Vergara if you're UFC level. But we've seen him finish CJ Vergara, go toe-to-toe with Joshua Van, stunned Joshua Van, who's now the champ, almost finished Joshua Van, hurt him pretty bad. And I think Edgar Chairez is going to be digging body shots on Felipe Bunes. It's open. Just look at that body, man. I don't want to say it looks weak, but it does. All right, a nice knee to the solar plexus, a nice body shot to the solar plexus will put him down. So I'm going to go with Edgar Chairez to win this fight, and I'm going to say he wins a TKO victory here. Big breakout fight for Edgar Chairez. I think, he's super emotional after his last one. He lost I believe it was his grandparents or something, or his parents. Super emotional, but he's doing good in the UFC right now. The UFC wants to push him on these Mexico City cards, on these Mexico cards. He's one of the good Mexican fighters, and I think he's going to win this fight. So give me Edgar Chairez by TKO in the second round, we'll say, as the quick pick. We move on to the feature fight, Daniel Zellhuber versus King Green. Bobby Green is back, boys. King Green is back. And Daniel Zellhuber is again an absolutely astronomical freaking favorite in this fight. And as much as I think Daniel Zellhuber should win, I'm going to go with King Green. All right, I'm going to go with King Green. And like I will continue to say, and like I always say, picks are not bets. I'm probably not betting on King Green, but you never know. I'm going to go with King Green as a plus 400 underdog. This is insane, this line here. Daniel Zellhuber looked like absolute dog shit. He looked terrible against Johnson, all right? He looked absolutely horrible against Johnson. Now, Johnson is good for 40 years old, and he's still got pop, and his chin seems to somehow hold up. But Daniel Zellhuber was sparring. He was out there sparring. Jab, little kick. I'm not trying to talk like Arnold out. I seem to be. But Daniel Zellhuber was sparring with Johnson, with Michael Johnson, and just looked terrible. Got dropped by that big overhand right. If you're trying to spar, it's literally Eric. Is it Eric Nixick? I think he's with Eric. It's terrible. It's terrible. You can't be out there sparring. You're trying to finish the guy. You're trying to get a bonus. You're trying to up yourself in the division. You're trying to build your career, and you're going to a boring decision with Michael Johnson, who's 40 years old. I still think King Green's got more in him than Michael Johnson, all right? I'm going to go with King Green as a huge underdog. Don't be surprised if he just pieces him up, sticks, moves. He just did it to a fresh, young prospect, the Canadian guy there. It was a split decision. It shouldn't have been. You know, even though I wanted the Canadian to win, I picked him to win. Bobby won that fight. King Green won that fight 30-27. It should have been 30. He won every round. He was walking him down, wasn't scared. He still has good head movement. If you look at his last losses, it's to guys like Mauricio Rufy, who just finished, what's his name? Fiziev. Mauricio Rufy. You know, guys like, who subbed him? Paddy Pimblett, who just fought for the interim belt. Okay? Islam Makhachev. These are the top guys that King Green has recently lost to. Dude, Daniel Zellhuber is out here losing to Michael Johnson by 30-27. He's getting dominated. You know, he lost a close fight to Esteban Ribovic, and that just blew his stock up because it was a war, but he still lost. He still got dropped. He still was stunned. He was rocked, and he got dropped by Michael Johnson. Give me King Green as the quick pick by decision. Marches him down. No respect. Daniel Zellhuber's too scared on the back foot. Doesn't know what to do. He might fling up a head kick, and that's probably his best bet. If he wants to win this fight, he'll have to catch King Green with a head kick or a straight right or something and put him down. But I think King Green is just a better fighter and isn't scared in there. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a crap. So give me King Green as the quick pick by decision. We move on to the co-main event. Marlon Vera, Chito Vera versus David Martinez, the co-main event. Dude, if Chito doesn't win this fight, it's wraps. It's over. All right, it's over. Cut it. Cut him. The career's over. I want Chito Vera to win this fight. I arguably wanted him to win that Aiemann Zahabi fight, even though I picked and bet and was rooting for Aiemann Zahabi. I was like, Chito should win this fight. He should. But Aimann's going to, because Chito Vera doesn't do enough in his fights. He doesn't push the pace. He just tries to squeeze out a decision. He doesn't try and finish guys anymore. He doesn't try to be dangerous. If he catches you with a little head kick, it's perfect. All right, he finishes you. Lucky. But it is lucky. It's like a Leon Edwards lucky head kick. If he catches you with it, it's lights out. It's good night. He wins the fight. But it's a big if. And recently, he's just been letting things slip away and slip away and slip away. And even though David Martinez is very underproved and hasn't seen the top 15, high top 15 yet in this bantamweight division, I don't think Chito Vera is what he used to be. I'm going to go with David Martinez. I think he's faster. I think he's hungrier. I think he's going to be actually trying to win the minutes, whereas Marlon Vera, Chito Vera is going to be looking for a fluke kick. I was there live at his last fight. It was a banger fight. Aiemann Zahabi, Chito Vera was a great fight. And I think Chito won round 2 by dropping Aiemann Zahabi with that straight right. I believe it was a jab. Dropped Aiemann Zahabi bad. But the urgency wasn't there. He could have finished Aiemann. After he dropped him, Aiemann didn't throw for the rest of the round pretty much, till the last 30 seconds. He didn't throw because he was trying to recover. And Marlon just walked. He didn't put it on him. He could have finished Aiemann Zahabi guaranteed, and I thought he was going to. But the urgency isn't there. And he thought he won that fight in Canada. You think you're going to beat a Canadian Canada in a close decision? You're crazy, buddy. You think you're going to beat a Mexican in Mexico with a close decision? No way. So give me David Martinez by decision. Chito Vera is still tough. I think David Martinez is going to be bombing him with right hands. I think he's going to be in and out, poking the body. The kicks are super quick for Martinez. He's the smaller guy, but he's way faster. And we've just seen no urgency from Chito. I can't buy into Chito anymore when he just doesn't bother to change anything. He just doesn't. He's not aggressive. He doesn't have that pop anymore. And he doesn't want to win. So give me David Martinez by decision as the quick pick. We move on to the main event. Brandon Moreno, Lone'er Kavanagh. I'll be honest. This main event is pretty disappointing. It's a very disappointing main event. Brandon Moreno continues to be the Mexico City main event every single year versus Urseg last year. It was a boring fight. People can be like, Brandon Moreno's looking amazing, technical. Dude, he's popping a jab and loading a low kick for 25 minutes, okay? A little cheap kick to the body, a little body kick. That's all he does for 25 minutes. I'm frustrated with it. And I'm frustrated for the Mexican fans because I know they love Brandon Moreno, but we have other guys. We just got Manuel Torres, who just flatline knocked out Grant Dawson in the first round. Get him in the main event. Grant Dawson versus whoever, versus Fiziev. Grant Dawson versus Rufi. Grant Dawson versus Renato Moicano. Grant Dawson versus anybody. Oh, not Grant Dawson. What am I saying? Sorry, Manuel Torres. Manuel Torres versus what's his name? Rufi. Or versus Fiziev. Or versus Renato Moicano. Push Manuel Torres. He could be a main event. Not Brandon Moreno, 25 minutes, fucking jab and body kick. Come on. Now, respect to Lone'er Kavanagh for coming in on short notice, but this is a tough fight. It is tough. 25 minutes of Brandon Moreno. He's going to be there the entire fight. Unless you get him on the ground like Tatsuro Taira did and just TKO him or just take his back and hold on to him and threaten submissions, which is not something Lone'er does. It's a very tough fight. I'm going to pick Lone'er Kavanagh, though, okay? And this is a biased pick, and I'm honest when it's a biased pick because I am a big fan of Lone'er Kavanagh. He's a fan of the channel. He's a fan of Yap MMA. He follows me on Instagram, you know? And I've DM'd him a couple times. I like Lone'er Kavanagh, and I am going to be rooting for him, and I'm going to be picking him because I think Brandon Moreno has holes that can be exposed. It's clear that all he wants to do is jab you at range. If you get in the pocket with Brandon Moreno, you will be the better fighter. I think Lone'er Kavanagh in the pocket is the more powerful, more explosive, more dangerous fighter by far. By far, and I think he has the takedown edge in this fight. People are going to call me crazy for that, but I don't think Brandon Moreno's grappling is better than Lone'er Kavanagh's. This is a very big step up. Don't get me wrong. And this is a tough test, and everybody's going to count out Lone'er Kavanagh. But I do believe this is a better matchup than against Bruno Silva. Because Bruno Silva can bomb you out. He can put your lights out. Brandon Moreno can't. He can't. You know, and he's not a finisher. He's not dangerous. So I'm going to go with Lone'er Kavanagh to win this fight. I'm going to say he wins this fight by decision. Very close decision. Okay? What am I saying? Decision, man. In Mexico City, he's probably going to get robbed. But I'm going to go with Lone'er Kavanagh. Not by decision. I'm actually going to go Lone'er Kavanagh by late TKO. I think he has all the tools necessary. It's just about the gas tank. If he can keep it up for 25 minutes, he will win this fight. I think he will win all of the early rounds. He is such a good round 1 fighter and round 2 fighter. It's in that 3rd, 4th, 5th is where I get worried. But I'm going to go Lone'er to do enough damage, or Lone'er to do enough damage in that 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round to win this fight. So give me Lone'er Kavanagh to win this fight by late TKO or decision, 48-47, one or the other. I'm going to go Lone'er Kavanagh as an underdog in Mexico City. Very underrated, being overlooked like crazy. And I kind of just want to see Brandon Moreno get out of that Mexico City main event and just put him in the apex. Like, I'm sorry. I like Brandon Moreno. He's a really cool dude. He seems like a really nice guy. But he's boring. Put him in the apex. All right, give me Lone'er Kavanagh to win this fight by decision or by late TKO. Those are all my quick picks for UFC Fight Night, Moreno versus Kavanagh, UFC Fight Night, Mexico City. It's a decent card, not the best, but that's the entire video. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Go check out my Winible in the description down below, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See you.